This is the Lissmac SBM-XS G1E1. When processing small parts, this machine gives you the advantage of being able to do very small parts in rapid succession, as opposed to putting your very small parts in a tumbler and leaving there for potentially for hours. We can have parts done here in quantity in a matter of minutes. If your application includes processing small parts, I recommend the SBM-XS G1E1. The SBM is steel brushing machine. The XS means it's extra small or for small parts. The G1E1 refers to the G1 grinding element, one on top, one on bottom. The E1 edge rounding element, one on top, one on bottom. And the 300 references an 11.5-inch wide working width, which is represented here. This machine is designed to do small parts, top and bottom, in a single pass. It can also process your larger parts in a top-only configuration with a quick transition. This machine is suitable for non-ferrous material, your aluminum, your stainless steel, because this one is equipped with a vacuum table. We also have the machine equipped with a magnetic table for your ferrous materials. With this machine, you load from the front, and it is conveyed through the machine. The part is turned over with our turning device and then conveyed back to the front of the machine, so the same operator that is loading it is also managing the unloading of the machine at the same time. This machine is also equipped with a dust collector. Now let's go take a look inside and see how this machine is configured. Now let's take a look at how this machine is configured. We start with a grinding element. We use that for cutting down the burr. This is a part cut with a laser, so it does have some burr, little bit of spatter on it, which really needs the attention of a coated abrasive. This particular tool is height adjustable, so you can adjust the grinding pressure. When it removes the burr, it either takes it completely away or it lays it down and creates a lateral burr and tries to bring it down past 90 degrees to make it easier to remove during the edge rounding process. The part is held down fast to the table with the vacuum element in here. You can see the in-feed table has holes in it to allow the suction to draw down on the part. As the part is conveyed further through the top of the machine here, it then meets the edge rounding brushes. This is the E1 element of the machine. This particular tool has dual action, meaning it is spinning as it's rotating. This gives us the ability to take a part that's had the high burr removed, now take the lateral burr off and round the edge of the part. As you can see, if you compare these two parts, this has some slag, what we also could call a burr, on the inside internal cutouts and the perimeter of the part. That has been completely removed from all edges, and it is now rounded. This will be safe to handle for your employees as that part is shuttled down the line in the manufacturing process, and then in the end product that you use that ultimately goes to the customer who buys that product. Once it is processed by the E units, or the edge rounding units, it is then conveyed into what we call our flipping device. The flipping device picks the part up and it turns it. So now, as it is conveyed back through to the front of the machine, it is meeting with the same process. A grinding element that's height adjustable, so you can determine the grinding pressure on the surface of the part. The same vacuum element down here, and then it is conveyed again to the edge rounding units where we have that spinning and rotating action which does the same process to the bottom as it did on the top of the machine. And you can see that you have a random finish on the top of the part. That part is then conveyed to the front of the machine, back where the part entered the machine, and is either dumped into a bin or collected in some way by the operator who fed the machine. Now let's take a look at the rear of the machine and a closer look at the flipping device. At the rear of the machine, we have a flipping device. This is the part of the machine that takes your small part and rolls it so that the top part is now facing down as it goes back through the bottom of the machine. I'm going to open this up to show you a couple of things. First, how easy it is to open this up and how it works. You simply unfasten the latch, it's on a hinge, and you swing it open. And this gives us a look at how this works. The part is fed into this void here, where these bristles make contact with this extension or curved conveyor, and by friction conveys the part around 180 degrees so that it can be fed back through the opposite side. If your part is too long to do a top and bottom operation in a single pass, that too long means somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 or 7.5 inches, depending on how wide the part is. If your part cannot make the trip around the flipping device, what we do is we open the flipping device as we just demonstrated, and that allows you to convey the part through the machine with a top-only operation. When you open the flipping device, the tools on the bottom section automatically turn off so they're no longer running. There's a door that slides across and will completely cover this cavity here for safety, so that when your part comes out, all you need to do is either put an extension table or grab the part as it comes out of the machine. It's a level of versatility that allows you to capture a larger percentage of your parts in one single machine. When you're ready to return back to the double-sided operation, you simply close this door, swing the flipping device closed, and relatch it. That automatically re-engages the tools on the bottom. One other thing to mention back here is we also have an emergency stop button at the rear of the machine. The key features of the SBM-XS G1E1 300 is the capability of doing small parts. That in and of itself is a huge advantage for customers who have an array that includes very small parts that they can't typically process in a larger machine. Added to that is the ability to do them top and bottom in a single pass. If you have an application that has a broad width or breadth of parts that include very large to very small, or if you have an application that is centered on processing small parts, you're probably familiar with the time-consuming process of hand deburring a small part like this. To take a part like this and make it look like this with a manual process can take from several minutes to several hours, depending on how you're doing the part, what you have to address on the part, and if you're putting it into a tumbler machine. Vacuum table is available for your non-ferrous parts. A magnetic table is available for your ferrous parts. The machine comes standard with a dust collector, so the package that would come to you would be the machine with the dust collector and the ductwork to connect the two together. The controls are very simple. We have them laid out so that you can address your part thickness here with a readout and a joystick. The speed is variable. How fast the part goes through the machine is going to be based on the results that you want. We also have the ability to select tools. That is another key feature of this machine. You can turn on and off whichever specific tools you need to create the result that you want in an easily laid out, easy to access, easy to understand control panel. This is one of the machines in the series that creates the Lissmac edge. The Lissmac edge is a rounded edge. It's an evenly rounded edge, consistent front to back, left to right, and on the contours inside of the part. If you're interested in learning more about how you can get the Lissmac edge, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to talk to you.